All right, we're back here on SportsLine, about 20 after the hour. Phone lines are open, 737-7767, if you want to get in on the program tonight. Talking, for the moment anyway, about the Titans. Big trade last week. Give up the #1 overall pick, but get a king's ransom, as John Robinson described it, back in return. So the Titans now going to select 15th overall this year. They already had the 33rd pick. First pick of round 2. But now they also have the 43rd and 45th pick in round 2. And then they have 2 more picks, their own and one from St. Louis, look at me, Los Angeles, the Rams, in round 3. So 6 picks in the top 67 picks. That is the most of any team in the NFL in the last 25 years. And the only 3 teams to have that many picks that high in a draft, as far as we can go back, have all gone on to a Super Bowl within the span of about 5 years. So that sets some expectation here, because there's going to be a lot of talent coming in, and you build in the NFL through the draft. You've got to have a quarterback. Titans believe they do in Marcus Mariota. And you got to build around him through the draft. You can add some pieces here and there, but the foundation has to be that quarterback, and it has to be built through the draft. The Titans have a great opportunity to build that roster now through the draft. What are your thoughts on that trade? Any thoughts about the schedule that was released last week? 737-7767 is the number. The Titans reported to work today. One of those guys, obviously Marcus Mariota, second-year quarterback now. Worked out a lot this offseason at the University of Oregon, went back to Hawaii for a little bit, but now back in Nashville, ready to get going with his teammates, feeling good, feeling refreshed after a very, very long journey that went through his final year at Oregon and going after the Heisman, being in the college football playoff, going to Senior Bowls and the Combine and pre-draft workouts, and then the draft, and then off-season workouts with the Titans last year, and through an NFL regular season, which is longer than he's ever gone through as a player before. Finally refreshed and feeling ready to go, Marcus Mariota with the media this afternoon at St. Thomas Sports Park.
Oh, yes, definitely. Being away from it for a little while, it makes you hungry and motivated to get back, and I'm just excited to be here again.
The 9 games with Coach Malarkey at the end of last season make this feel more like a continuation, or does it, with different assistants and whatnot, does it feel like sort of a fresh start around here?
It doesn't feel brand new. Obviously there's some new faces, but that's always a given year in and year out. I think a lot of us feel comfortable. Coach Malarkey came in, set the tone again early, and feels like where we left it.
Where did you spend most of your offseason? You've been in Oregon training?
Yes, I was in Oregon most of the time working out. Having the ability to use those facilities was paramount, and I was very fortunate to be able to do that. Spent a little bit of time at home in Hawaii. So that's always nice to go back and to hang out with family and friends.
How do you feel physically? I mean, you said early in the offseason you felt good.
I feel great. I kind of took a month off to kind of let my body heal up from the year, because I think for any rookie it is a long year. Going from the end of your college season to then the pre-draft, and all that stuff into it, and then actually playing in the season. So it is a long year, but I took about a month off, felt great, and just kind of picked up again.
You guys used to winning a lot. In the months since the season, how much has the 3-13 bothered you?
A lot. I mean, it didn't sit well, and that's just kind of who I am as a competitor. I think there's a lot of the same feelings throughout this room. And I think a lot of us are just happy to be back, to be working with each other, and we need to make a change. We need to make differences, and I think we're heading in the right direction.
What's it like for you, Marcus, coming into year 2? Obviously, you coming in after the draft, you had a whirlwind offseason. Now you've had a year to kind of get your mind right, a year under your belt, been able to train. what's your feeling into year 2?
Yeah, I think you just feel a lot more comfortable. Last season it's brand new to you. You're moving from somewhere where you're comfortable in terms of being there for 4 years, and this is a whole new city, a whole new place, a whole new part of the country for some of us. So that part of it, you feel a lot more comfortable coming back into this situation, and you just want to get back to work, and yeah.
What kind of
What are your
impact do you think
impressions so
DeMarco
far?
Murray's going to have on you?
A huge one. He was the leading rusher a couple of years ago. He's a very versatile back, someone that can run downhill, make plays, but also come out of the backfield and make some, plays in the passing game. So, we're going to find ways to use him and, lean on him to make some plays this year.
Got any impressions of Rashard Matthews so far?
Yeah, he looks good, running routes. Physically, he's a pretty dope guy, someone that can, kind of fight after the ball. So, again, we're excited that with all these new faces in the room, and, we look forward to getting to work with them and for them to make plays.
How many times work out with those guys this summer or spring?
A few times. Coming out here in Nashville about a couple weeks ago, just to kind of get things rolling for us and, kind of set a tone and build some of that chemistry that's needed throughout the year. And then, just today, and now we'll have, close to 3 months to be able to work with each other and build that foundation for the season.
How many receivers were you working out with guys?
There's pretty much everyone was there. So about 8 to 10 guys.
What are some of the things that you personally kind of look to improve on in year 2?
For one, turnovers. Fumbling was kind of a bad habit that even I had in college that I need to continue to fix. I think for me what's most important alongside of that is stepping up as a leader, being more vocal. And then just from there on, just finding ways to win. I think that's kind of been the tone for the last few months here, is just finding ways to win. However that may be, just find a way to get it done.
Michael Larkey has talked a lot about changing the playbook a bit, changing schemes to make it a little bit more easier language and things like that. Have you had a chance to delve into it much, and can you tell a big difference?
Yes. There are differences, but you can't totally simplify the entire thing because then defenses will be able to predict what you're doing. And so for the most part, it's what I've seen of it so far, it is simpler. But I think we still have the complexities that's needed to play at this level.
Will it be easier for you to be more of a vocal leader that you say you want to be, having had 1 year under your belt? And if so, what makes that easier?
Yeah, I think, again, it's a comfortable situation now. You've been in it a year. Now it's an opportunity to use what you've learned from the previous year and the respect that you've earned from your teammates, and hopefully use that as a way and a tool to kind of get your message across and get the coach's message across.
Coach Mark was talking about Terry Robisky and saying he's a very demanding guy. I wondered what's your impressions so far of Terry Robisky are?
He's been a lot of fun since I've been here. He's a very likable guy, competitive, someone that is willing to do anything to win. And, I think that's what we need. We need to kind of have that mentality, and moving forward, if we continue to build that, I think we'll go into the season with a solid foundation.
You, Malarkey, not today, earlier, had mentioned that you were working out with a handful of other NFL quarterbacks in California, I guess, at one point this offseason. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience and what you took from that?
Yeah, I was. So my agent, long story short, my agent's based out of Irvine. So I was down in California for about 3 weeks. More really to kind of focus on working out and lifting and getting healthy with the trainer that I had worked with previously. And when I was there, my agent kind of said, hey, how about you go check out Tom House and the rest of the gang down in Huntington. And I went for about a week. Geno Smith was there, and a couple other guys. But yeah, it was just more focused on mechanics and I enjoyed it. I thought it helped me out a lot. And, I'm going to use what I've learned to hopefully make me a better player.
Is any of that, what you talk about mechanics there, new or different than what you're looking at, or you consider it mostly a refresher of basics that apply to everybody?
More of I think it's a refresher, but at the same time, there's things that that they teach you in terms of arm care recovery and things that are kind of out of the box that I wasn't necessarily taught. And I think that was a really cool experience because, you get all the information that is provided to each quarterback, and I think that's really cool because you can use it to modify it and to use it in your own advantage. And I think that's what's really benefited me the most is being able to use that information to hopefully make me a better player.
Your arm ever tired last? I know you missed 4 games, and that probably gave you some recovery time that you didn't really want. But how'd you rate your arm at the end of the season?
It wasn't tired at all. I mean, knock on wood. I haven't really experienced something like that. I think, I've been very fortunate in terms of just kind of my mechanics. I think my shoulder doesn't get super tired or super lagged. So there wasn't any of that last season.
Marcus, will you watch the draft at all next week?
Yeah, I'll pay attention to it.
How invested will you be in it? Like, some guys don't like to watch it. Some guys are all about it. Kind of worried.
Well, I'll keep tabs on it. I'm gonna try to, for the most part, just keep tabs and see where. Because I have former teammates that are in it. DeForest, Joe Walker, Tyler Johnstone. Some guys that, I've been together with for 4 years, and I kind of pay attention to them, see how they do, and see what we end up doing.
What a difference a year makes for Marcus Mariota. A year ago at this time, he was going around the team's final interviews, prepping for the NFL draft, and about to be selected number 2 overall by the Titans, which would be about 10 days from now last year, and then getting set to dive into an NFL playbook and an NFL system and having to be a leader. And now a whole year later, he's comfortable and confident and ready to walk in and be a part of the team right from the get-go this year. And guys talked about, you could see that. He's more of a vocal leader this year. He's a more confident guy. He certainly fits in. He's already proven himself. Because all those rookies, no matter where you're drafted, 1, 2 overall, 4th round, undrafted free agent, you've got to prove yourself when you walk into an NFL locker room and then hit the practice fields that you belong, that you're one of them, that you're part of their team, and that you're there for the purpose that they're there for. Marcus Mariota proved that very quickly to guys last year. And because of that, he's certainly a leader in this locker room for this team coming back as they report to offseason workouts. So expect big things from Marcus Mariota in year 2. Several guys also said that the biggest improvement you see oftentimes for guys in the National Football League is that rookie year when everything is so new and you don't quite understand, you haven't had all the reps yet, you haven't seen all the looks yet, and then you jump to year 2. You've got the experience and you're ready to go. I think a lot of guys in that locker room expect Marcus Mariota to take a big jump in year 2 as the Titans quarterback. Phone line still open, 737-7767. If you'd like to get in on the conversation tonight, we can come back, talk a little bit more about the Titans. We can also switch gears, too, get back to some hockey talk. Predators up 2-0 on the Ducks. Game 3 tomorrow night in Smashville. We'll have more on that, hear from some of the guys as well, coming up next here on SportsLine.